But how many of us in this room are in the marketing departments of your organizations? Okay. It's actually a lower percentage than what I was expecting from a MarTech conference, so that's really good to see, actually. But more and more, marketing holds the keys to being able to solve these problems. Because marketing is the one department in the organization that works across all sectors. So the CFO and finance across all the different layers of customer engagement, across all of the departments. Human resources, your brand, how you communicate, how you train and onboard your team. Marketing's all over that. Sales collateral, the leads that come into sales. New product launches, your existing customers. Who's running campaigns and communications to existing customers? Marketing touches every aspect of the organization in a way that the only other group that does that is finance. So it's really, really important that marketing and finance get on the same page with this language thing. And you know what? You're probably not going to teach the finance department marketing. They don't really care about your campaign, right? They're measuring outcomes. Everything that they get is after the campaign happened. So it's really hard to get them excited about the new brand launch and why you need to do it, right? So we need to train our marketing teams, and we can do this, to think more like CFOs. We need to practice our CFO love language at every layer of the organization. Because you know what? I don't want the person running my email campaign to only care about conversion rates on emails. I want them to care about the dollars that are spent on that campaign and the ROI of that campaign. And if they're running 10 campaigns, I want the person running those campaigns to be able to make the call that we're going to cut the budget on these 3 because they're not producing results, and we're going to run these 7 harder. These are working. People running email campaigns, they don't have that information. Our companies aren't giving it to them. We don't have the dashboards and the data set up so that the people who are in the grind every day running that campaign can make that call. We as the marketing leaders in our organizations are the only people who can make that happen. And you know what? We lots of times don't have the information. So we kind of have to start at the beginning here. Because when we go ask for the budget to make it happen, it's a lot like a Dilbert cartoon. Every single person is going in with their data, their best information, and they're saying, hey, this is the budget I need. I spent 3 months creating this 17-page report, and I've got all the data on HR, I've got all the data on marketing, I've got all the data on sales, and this is what I need. Add it all up, and wow, we're not going to make any money next year, so who's going to get the budget? All of you want more budget, all of you want to hire more people, all of you want to spend more. And you know what? All of the departments want to spend more on data, tools, systems, automation. Every single department in the company has that in their budget. I'm the CFO. I've got to referee this, and I'm getting all this different data about all these departments, and I'm not going into the weeds on any of your departments. Again, marketing is the only one that touches all of those other departments. And we have access to a lot of the systems and tools that are shared across departments. So it's really important that we help facilitate this conversation. So I love budgets. I am like the person who shows up to a budget meeting and is like, woo, I love this. And everyone's like, wow, you're creepy. But at the same time, I didn't realize until 5 or 6 years ago that the ability to build budgets and use data in determining budgets was actually a unique thing. I thought that was just what we did. But now I'm realizing that budgets are the exact place that we get to share our love language with the CFO. Because we build our budgets based on data. In this particular story, we're operating at 404% above the industry average growth rate. It's time to make some growth moves. We're going to move some of our outsourced labor in-house in this proposed budget. We did some testing, and we determined that, you know what, the more locations we have, the more we need to use social media advertising, and we're growing at such a fast pace compared to our competition, we can spend some budget here. And direct mail, we found we're getting a good return. We were doing call tracking, we were measuring the data, we were finding that it was a really great ROI, that our largest customer values were coming from people who also received direct mail. So we wanted to increase that budget. I had data to back all this up. I mean, it was like Amazon. I'm not going to go in and ask for this stuff without having my piles of, if you ask me a question on this, I could back every single one of these up with data. CFO says, why does the budget per location keep increasing? Aren't I going to start getting some economies of scale soon? First, you asked me for a new digital platform, and in 2016 skyrocketed. You made me redo the whole website. Then in 2017, the price per location jumped again, and I was expecting a drop, more than $1,000 per year per location. I mean, come on. Tell me why I'm not getting a decreased budget. Well, I had to find the love language of the CFO. How am I going to convince the CFO, despite all of my data, that this is the right budget? I've got all the right information in here. You know what? The CFO wasn't speaking his own love language. You don't make money based on having a location. Your budget based on location doesn't matter. We as marketers can find the creative way. Jenny talked about finding the creative ways to find data. Look at this, we're driving down the budget per patient. That's actually where our money comes from. More patients coming to the same location is good for profitability. The CFO agrees. So budgets are the perfect place where all of that data and business intelligence and planning goes into. It's really great if you have it, and if you don't, we need it, because when we come in to have this conversation, if you want to get on the same page as your CFO, you have to use the budget as a common language. They understand budgets, they understand spreadsheets. They don't understand that campaign stuff. I will tell you that this statistic always surprises me, but the Dilbert commercial makes it real, that only 37% of CFOs and finance leaders find that their budgeting process is even valuable. Or I'm sorry, at least valuable. 37%, that means 63% find it less than valuable. So we have to change that, and data changes this, because CFOs and CMOs don't disagree. Oh, that's off center. We agree that our budgets don't align with key performance indicators. So when you talk about the vision and you talk about the strategy that Jenny and Craig have both talked about, you have to talk about how the money that you're spending aligns to that measurement strategy. Because right now, your budgets are organized based on the activities you have to do. And you're measuring the activities you have to do. That's how you view the world in the marketing and sales departments. However, if you reorganize your budget and your KPIs to be aligned, you can avoid a lot of budget battles. The most recent Gartner CMO spend survey says that marketers continue to struggle to provide meaningful metrics. So we continue to fall back to those vanity metrics. We saw it in the budget boardroom battle. We see it here again on a national scale. Largely big companies are still reporting impressions and data that doesn't matter in the boardroom. We already heard about this quote, John Wanamaker. So your CFO doesn't trust the data that's coming to the boardroom. Your executives say, we don't care about impressions, we don't care about your numbers. We just showed you that finance still sucks despite your good numbers, right? Agencies, they're of course going to give you the information that secures their revenue. They don't want you to have information that doesn't say we need to spend more, we need to continue doing what we're doing. It's counterintuitive and counterproductive for the agency for them to come in and say, hey, 50% of the money you're spending with us isn't working. We think you should put that back into your company and spend it somewhere else and cut our marketing, the budget you're spending with us, by 50%. They're not going to do that. You have to have that accountability in-house that's going to be able to say what's working, what's not, where do we spend? Because the pressure is, and this is still true today, that most organizations are spending a lot of money that they don't need to spend. They just don't know what it is. So guess what? Just cut something. Start cutting your budget. Everybody start slashing your budgets, right? The data's not tied together, so everybody across the board slash your budget. As a result, marketing budget is going down. So marketing budget as a whole continues to decrease year over year. It took almost a full percent drop in the 1 year between these two surveys. So the problem is with MarTech and business analytics and all of these things that we need that we don't have, we need to spend more. So our budgets are showing up. We need more technology. We need better, more sophisticated labor. We need more sophisticated agency partners, or we need a partner who's going to hold our other agencies accountable so that we can understand how our 4 or 5 different agencies' data pulls together and aligns to our business strategy. Yet the downward pressure exists on our budgets.